Good morning, my loves. How are you? Happy Tuesday, 10:10 portal at 10:10 a.m. MST. I am just also going to go live on Insta here. And let me know if you're here. Say hello. Where are you from? Type hello, replay if you're on the replay. All right. Awesome. So I wanted to come on today so that we could chat a little bit more about what it really takes for you to have the results that you want in your business. And for most of us, all of us, I'm going to say, are clients, customers, money, right? The revenue, and the experience. And so I want to come on. Hi, everyone. I want to come on to share a little bit more about the mindset around this and what it really does take. Because I want to take you back to where I very much first started this business as a coach. So many of you may know, if you're new to me, hello, I'm Rosalyn. I'm an Akashic business coach and a former psychologist. So I was a former psychologist in private practice for just over 10 years. And that journey of entrepreneurship, even though I was an entrepreneur as a psychologist, coaching is a very different vibe. It's a very different kind of business, and it requires me to have leveled up and shifted my whole energy and mindset and understanding that I can't hide behind things anymore. I can't hide behind benefits, right? Like, as a psychologist, you can have your clients be covered under benefits. So I had to work through all my money shit. I couldn't hide behind my title anymore because there is some prestige status with the title of psychologist. So I had to really work through my own identity and how much I was attached to my titles. Like, if you guys have followed me for a while, you've been my client for a while, you have seen that over these last 7 years that I've been in my coaching business, I think I've changed my title every year because I become so much like, this is resonating, right? And it doesn't matter. I think that is, I'm celebrating that. I think that that really speaks to me not identifying myself so much in my titles, right? And really had to work through that. So some of you may be in your journey where you're also beginning your coaching business. Some of you may be further along, you're 2 years in. Some of you may be 5 years in. And I will say always, at every stage of business, there's definitely a different level of version that's required of you. And so with that, let's start with and I really want to get into the mindset, the psychology today, because without that, if we just get into strategies, that's not really that helpful to you, right? The mindset, the beliefs, so the mindset is the attitude. Beliefs are really related to both your conscious and subconscious beliefs. Okay, so the one I really want to talk about the subconscious, because we can only take ourselves to where we want to be when, i.e., we will manifest our results when our conscious mind and our subconscious beliefs are matching. That's when we can manifest. Now, we also must truly be able to hold what we have come in by having those beliefs continually to match. Otherwise, we can create a result, and then all of a sudden, the subconscious belief of not enough, or this, I can't have this, like I'm not worthy of this, or whatever it may be, this is too good to be true, right? And so that can sabotage us. That's why sabotage happens, is because subconscious belief is stronger than the conscious belief. So that's why we see those things happen. We hit our upper limit. And this even happens for me, my loves, okay? It happens for me. So that's why I preach about the inner work, the spiritual work so deeply, because building a business, growing a business, scaling a business, again, no matter what stage you're at, will trigger your shit. It is a personal and spiritual journey. And so the first thing I want to say is we gotta get uncomfortable. We gotta get uncomfortable with, like, based on, you guys have seen that diagram where it's like, here's your comfort zone, and then here's where the magic happens way over here. We gotta get out of our comfort zone and in to move towards the magic, to move towards where we want to be. It's about getting uncomfortable so that we can become a new version of ourselves. It's shedding that snake skin, right? It's shedding that snake skin. It's easier said than done. Trust me, I know, okay? I continually put myself in uncomfortable situations. Do I like it? No. Do I know that this is going to support me in leveling up? Yes. That's a trust I have in myself. Okay, that's the other piece, is get uncomfortable. And this is about trusting yourself in the process. I really think that, and I really believe this, when we manifest the results we have, and then we're able to hold that vision and be in it and have this new elevated foundation of normal, it's because we truly have trusted ourselves. And then we're able to expand from that level, it's because we truly are trusting ourselves and trusting that the universe has our back. It's already energetically contracted that we're going to be working with certain clients. It's already energetically contracted in this lifetime that you are here to be creating the things that you're meant to create, because God created you to really fulfill this purpose, right? And so it's our sacred responsibility to get uncomfortable so that we can move to where we're supposed to be in this next level version of ourselves. Trusting ourselves. All right, here's a big one, especially for you if you're a people pleaser, but I will say even for myself, I think we all have versions of people pleasing for sure. Okay, that all can come out in different versions and varieties and flavors, but it's about risking disapproval. Risking disapproval. All right, when I first hired my very first business coach, which was a fucking huge risk. It was $30,000. So like the investment of a car. Okay. My very first business coach. And I probably hemmed and hawed for like 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God. Because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust the process. It wasn't about her. It was about me. Right. And when I finally got out of my way and signed that contract, sent the money, holy shit, did something activate inside me, because that's what happens. And I see that with my clients too. As soon as they say yes to themselves, they commit with signing the contract, they commit with handing over the money, right? What happens is energetically some things have already shifted and rearranged inside that, this new level of elevation. You did the thing that made you uncomfortable. You took a huge risk. Now here's the other risk that really is the thing is we have to risk other people not trusting. Like, they're projecting their shit onto us, right? So when I first invested in a business coach and I was changing how I was showing up, I was learning the ropes of starting a coaching business, my own dad, and you guys, if you haven't seen my talk called Going All In, Bet on Yourself, I'll tag that in the comments. It's my Blue Talks, Business Life Universe. It's like a TEDx talk. Okay. You got to go see that. I shared the story about how my own dad, my own parents thought I was being brainwashed. And they were like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, they don't swear. So they're like, in their Chinese accents. What are you doing? Right? Are you crazy? And they literally were so worried, because how could I go to all of these years of undergrad, university, grad school, spend thousands of dollars on my schooling, create this 6-figure beyond successful private practice as a psychologist, was the go-to psychologist, had wait lists for my group therapy and one-on-one programs. How could I just give this all up? Now, I also was the first psychologist to create an online program. in 2015 in this in the province, okay? And that was a lot of red tape, a lot of fucking red tape. And I like, no, like this feeling inside me, I'm willing to risk disapproval with my parents. I'm willing to risk disapproval with the college, of the psychologist the body was regulated under, because, and I figured it out legally and ethically. I didn't do anything unethical. I'm not that kind of person. So I figured it out. All right. And that's when more doors opened up. Now, I was becoming more spiritual, but I wasn't super spiritual back then. I was just like that feeling inside. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the universe always supports you. So as soon as I put out that online program, what happened, which again was taking a lot of risk, betting on myself, trusting myself, getting uncomfortable because I don't know what the F is going to happen, right? As soon as I did that, I got my first international speaking gig. I got a magazine cover, all right? Like, what? Right? That's like the sign that the universe is supporting you and giving you more of what's aligned in your purpose. This is what happens. That's where I jumped out the comfort zone and I went into the magic. That's what happened. All right. This is so possible for you guys. All right. This is so possible. This is possible for anybody. It's about our mindset. The success of our business can go so far as our psychology. So we're not working on our beliefs. Now we can work on all our beliefs. And then what the other issue is, and which I'm actually going to talk about in a little bit. So should I tease you guys? Yeah, okay, I'm going to hold off, okay? You have to keep watching this, all right? So the other thing I want to talk about is you got to, and this comes more so from my shamanic practitioner studies, all right? You got to embrace the mystery of life. There's nothing fucking guaranteed in life or business. We can't guarantee anything because it's up to you. It's up to you to take radical personal and spiritual accountability. Or another word for that is responsibility. It's up to you to be like, yep, I'm going to get out of my own way. Yep, I'm going to do what it takes, risk and disapproval, getting super uncomfortable. And I'm speaking to myself too, my loves, as I'm right now in this moment leveling up in my business behind the scenes. I am fucking shitting myself, okay? My imposter syndrome is coming up like crazy. But you know what? I'm not sitting in it. I'm going, all right, okay, I see you. I see this. And I know that this is really normal. I tell my clients this all the time. I'm telling you guys right now. It's really normal for your imposter syndrome to come up. That feeling like a fraud, feeling like, you don't know enough. Maybe you need more credentials. Maybe like to some degree, maybe it's about making like you might need to have a little bit more knowledge to support you, which is in my case it is. And so that's why I'm taking a couple certifications. But I know that I'm in my zone of genius no matter what, right? That how I show up isn't going to change. It's just I'm expanding. So I'm like, okay, well, that's what we want to think about is let's embrace the mystery, but also what's going to help me close those gaps. Right? We can't be certain about this. I wasn't certain if I was going to be successful when I retired as a psychologist and went into coaching. I had no freaking idea. And people this is why we can't listen to other people who don't understand or who aren't doing what we're doing or going where we're going or where we want to be already. Okay, we can't listen to anyone who isn't in that arena because they don't get it. They're not in the same vibration frequency. So that's not fair to you if you're giving your power away to those people who are not playing in the same arena. Why would you do that to yourself? Right? And so this is really about staying in the energy, staying in the mindset, staying in the frequency of surrounding yourself with people who are going where you're going. Okay, so here's where this is now, sorry, I want to finish that sentence. So what I would tell these naysayers or like people who are worried, and because they care, they're not being negative, they're just worried, right? Obviously my parents were worried. It's not like they don't care about me or they're just worried that I'm being brainwashed. And when I look from a bird's eye perspective, from an outsider, I could totally understand that. Like, what lemonade or what cooler did you drink from, right? So I get it. But we cannot be people-pleasing here. If you're more committed to people-pleasing, you're more committed to people liking you, then you're not going to be able to have the results you want in your business, because this is not about people pleasing. Your purpose is not to people please. And what I would say to these people is, you know what it feels like is when you have a toddler, can you put that back into your hoo-ha? No, you can't. That's what it felt like. Okay, I literally would say that. And so you can take that analogy if you like. All right, you can't put a thing that you birthed out into the world back in. Like, you can't. It's just you gotta tweak. It's all feedback. There's no such thing as failure. When something doesn't go according to how you wish it had, then there's lessons. You either go achieved it or you either learn from it. And let me tell you, my biggest lessons came the most expensively, whether it was emotionally, mentally, and or financially, usually all three. Okay, so I'm still here. I didn't die. Nobody has died from stretching themselves, right? So, okay, and then the next thing, which I was like, I'm going to keep you a mystery, is you got to be so committed to your dream. You got to be focused. Okay, focus is really important. Write it down. I know that my focus tends to go out the window if I don't write it down. I literally have like a whiteboard of what I'm focusing this week. When I'm working with my clients in my programs, I'm like, what's your intention this week? What are your 3 steps of focus, right? What are you going to do? So that's the other thing, is you got to create time for it. So this is what I'm committed to this week. I'm going to create the space and time. Is it in your calendar? You got to time block it. You actually put it in your calendar. You got to actually create that time. I had a call with a client recently, and one of the things that she has been actually struggling with is like really like creating the having more clients. And so I said, do you actually have the time? Like, are you actually creating the time, or what is your time like? Like, let's talk about that, because if you don't actually create the space to really like market yourself, really get aligned with the messaging, really then like, and if you don't actually have time in your schedule to have more clients, and is this actually what you want? So challenging this beautiful client got her to look at, you know what? Yeah, like I really do need to look at, is she self-sabotaging already? Right? So she really looks at that, created more space for really making sure she's calling in, and then really making sure she's creating the space. Sometimes we think this is what I want, but then we don't actually have a plan, right? That's really important, my loves, right? We actually have to have the space, creating the time, the energy to work towards what it is that we desire. And finally, here's what it is. Knowledge is not power, but applying that knowledge, creating the space and time and energy for that, and taking aligned action. Action. Sitting back is not going to, like, manifesting doesn't happen with you like oming and like just visualizing. No, you have to show up for it, right? We have to show up for it. And so that's why I love doing these lives. To be honest, I was feeling a little bit like a little bit in a funk this morning. And I'm like, all right, it's a certain time of my moon, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's okay. Let me put on something that makes me feel good. So I've got my Cake King jewelry on. I've got my Healy on, right? Like flashing you guys, right? This is my frequency device. And I've got this on Feel Good program so that this elevates me. And then what am I going to do? I'm not going to just sit back and just, because I know myself. I'm like, I know I can activate myself more when I actually take aligned action. I see that with my clients. You show up, you know, and emotional regulation is huge. I would say that's definitely one of the things it takes is to have the results you want in your business, is to emotionally regulate. When your shit comes up, are you able to emotionally stay regulated so that you don't let your inner critic drive the bus, but you're able to shift that and move into aligned action, changing your attitude and moving into aligned action, stretching yourself, getting uncomfortable, doing the things, right? And there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. That's a beautiful thing, right? When we take that feedback, it's like, okay, this didn't quite work. Let's tweak it. Let's try this. Marketing is always about experimenting, you know, and testing. And that's why we want to look at like the numbers as well, the data. I know it's not so sexy, but it's really important. And so really being able to look at where you're going and then the path to get there. This is why I love to work with my clients, is really understanding their marketing plan, their business strategies and systems, right? But also the energetics and mindset. Of course, all my psychologist self comes into this. It's the energetic foundation and being able to move us into those results we deeply desire, breaking through glass ceilings, right? That's really huge. And so I encourage you to really like save this video when you're feeling in a funk, when you're feeling a little bit lost, come back to this video. I hope that this really not only inspired you, but moves you to take aligned action, moves you to take those risks. And of course, my loves, if you are feeling like stuck in your business, you're feeling a little lost, you're frustrated because you're not getting results you want, DM me. I would love to see if I could support you. And if it's not me, because I'm not maybe not the best fit for you, I'm happy to refer. But DM me if you're ready to work with a coach, and let's explore if that might be me. Because you deserve to have the results you deeply desire in your life, in your business, right? And some of you need to hear that. Some of you really needed to hear that. Sometimes we think consciously we're worthy, but subconsciously those behaviors that you're exhibiting, you're tolerating. You're tolerating. And then that's what of like not having the results that you actually want. Is that actually okay with you? Is it actually okay for you to be frustrated, to be stuck? Like, no, I don't think so. Like, if you truly tapped into your high self, this is really about your worthiness and being able to like move through this resistance and just allow yourself to be in flow. But no, in order to be in flow, it means getting uncomfortable, which brings up your resistance, emotionally regulating, trusting yourself. So, and I'm going to say this is why it's important to have mentors. It's important to be surrounded by a community of like-minded people. I always like to say, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. So I surround myself with people who are higher level thinking, who are elevated thinking, who's like, this is my normal, where we talk about 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50K months, right? Like, this is the room you want to be in. This is the room you want to be embodied in, so that you can really be embodied in your most magnetic self, your highest level version of who you are and who you're meant to be in this lifetime. God didn't create you to live a mediocre life. You're the only one who can take yourself out of it, because you're one decision away. That's it. Right? And you don't have to do this alone. I know that many of you struggle with that lone wolf syndrome. I want you to know that you're not alone. Okay? There are lots of resources out there, and I'm one of them. Okay? So, and some of you might have your money shit coming up, right? Well, really, then maybe that's where you need to go and do some work. And that's something I do help my clients with, is money mindset. Because it's like at every stage, whether it's asking for the money, receiving the money, investing money, that literally can bring up shit at every stage. But money is just a mirror. It's an amplifier. It's energy. Right? So if you're not a great person, which I know nobody that's watching is a bad person, okay? I know that. That's just not my tribe, right? But if you're a bad person and you have lots of money, you're going to do more bad things with it. If you're a good person and you have lots of money, you're going to do amazing good things with it. And you're going to contribute more to yourself, to your family, to your loved ones, and you're being elevated joy, and you're going to be contributing. You're contributing to your gifts. You're contributing money. You're contributing more time. You have dreams. And some of you are struggling with moving towards believing that those are true. That is possible. And anything is possible. Anything's possible. You just have to believe that it's possible. Do the work to move towards manifesting these possibilities and opening up those portals. All right, my loves, so I'm going to leave this with a light language activation. If light language is new to you, maybe I'm new to you. It's language that comes through from divine, and it clears, it heals, it activates, and it amplifies for your highest truth and good. So I'm going to just have you reflect on, and you can type in the comments, what is your biggest takeaway from today? I would love to hear this. If you feel more comfortable to share it in a private message with me, I so welcome. My inbox is opened, okay? And so I genuinely love connecting with you, my beautiful community. I love getting messages from you and sharing your takeaways from my lives, from my courses. You know, it's so beautiful to see the ripple effect that I am so blessed that I get to create. And I'm literally embodied in what I preach. You can see that. Energy doesn't lie, right? And this is so possible for you too. So just feeling into the one thing. There might be a few things that really resonate with you, but just whatever's standing out the most for you in this moment. And then just beautifully taking a breath in. And just letting yourself breathe and exhale as you receive. Sarakurasi nirakia, surakurasi asamarakurasi nirakia. Morasi nirakia, rako asamarakurasi nirakia, surakurasi nirakia, surakurasi nirakurasi asamarakurasi nirakia. Morasi asamarakurasi, activating your dreams, activating your action. Morasi nirakia, suraku asamarakia, rakurasi nirakia, surakurasi nirakia. Breathing in. And then, like a tree, exhale so your breath are like roots of a tree into your energetic foundation. Beautiful, and feeling the roots go deep, deep, deep. Mother Earth, beautifully receiving your beautiful power, your energy, planting it deeper into the ground. And the image that's coming through is like pentacles, which are symbolisms of wealth and health deep in these roots. So see these beautiful pentacles just beautifully connecting, attach these roots. Feel the richness of the soil, richness of these roots being supported by the soil, by Mother Earth. Beautiful. Thank you, my loves, for tuning in. Again, I'd love to hear your takeaways. I love to hear how you feel. And my wish for you is that you go out there and be your boldest, most unapologetic version of you, because the world needs more of you. And if you feel called to explore working together, just DM me, ready, and we'll definitely get on a call and let's explore that together. All right, my loves, have a wonderful day on this 1010 portal.